Well, hello, goddesses, witches, ancestral mothers, grandmothers, daughters, sons, gods. Everyone is welcome here. When I talk about divine feminine energy, I do not address these videos and this platform only to be for women. I had a couple of emails asking me if this channel or my other channels, Instagram, new Instagram channel is for women only. No, it's not for women only. It's for anyone who is ready to embrace the divine feminine within them, who is ready to rise and who is ready to actually help the divine feminine to feel safe. As we know, divine feminine is rising. She's not asking to be seen anymore, but we need to really to understand and to embrace divine feminine and to awaken from this collective madness. We need to actually understand where this deep shame deep shame actually comes from, this deep shame that's carried by the divine feminine. So this is what I'm going to be talking about today on this channel, this new channel. There's a old channel, not old, first channel, which is Deep Inner Knowing, which is the name of my website. On the other side, so deep shame carried by the divine feminine. Yes, we need to talk about this one to understand and to unlock. It's been really kind of trickling deeply within us. It's in our bones and it's in our DNA system, not only with the girls and women's bodies, but also in bodies of men and everybody else. It's if divine feminine energy is wounded, then we are all wounded. We are all wounded. Men, women, or anyone in between, however you want to identify. Everything is cool here. Everyone is accepted. This is only a body. Everything else is just energy. So we need to kind of address this and talk about it more and more. That's why I've created this new channel, and let's see how it goes. So this deep shame that's carried by the divine feminine is not personal. We have to understand this, that it's not personal. It's much bigger than that. It's ancestral, it's collective, and it is systematic. This shame lives in our body, our memory, our womb, our voice, and soul of so many women, girls, boys, men. And Mother Earth. Mother Earth is deeply wounded by wound that's this shame the divine feminine is actually carrying. So this shame arises from generations of suppression, exile, distortion of feminine powers, war on intuition, sensuality, and expression, really. So I'm going to be talking about, I have this kind of formula that I have developed on my deep inner knowing channel, and this channel that I like to talk about in kind of bite sizes. So I like to split it into five. Five has become somehow magic a number for me. I feel comfortable with it, and also because of my ADHD, if it's not structured, then sometimes I do have just touch a little bit of a kind of issue. But I like to break it down. I think it's easier for people who are watching this channel like you to dive deep and kind of understand maybe a little bit deeper, but also to give kind of breakdown and clarity of what am I actually talking about, what am I feeling, what am I channeling, what am I seeing, and what am I exploring. So on this channel, obviously, we're going to be talking about goddesses and ancestral wisdom. There is a new Instagram channel, and also I would like to mention before I dive into first one, which is witch wounds and prosecution traumas. It's very interesting. Is that I'm opening a container, opening on container soon, Zoom container. We're gonna be gathering twice a month around full moon for deep dive, for release of shame, release of guilt, release of trauma, any traumatic imprints. Everyone is welcome. It's pay as you go. It's very symbolic. It's going to be £5 per session. You can book whenever you want to. There's going to be monthly option as well, which is going to be obviously much more affordable. I think 50% off if you book monthly. So do subscribe on my website. The container is opening very soon, next week or the week after, whenever like I manage to sort this technology out. So do join me there. It's going to be deep dive. It's going to be liberating. All are welcome, male, female, all bodies are welcome who are open to clearing this shame, deep shame that came with trauma, systematic abuse of divine feminine and of our bodies. So let's go there. Okay, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to meet you all there as well. Okay, first one. Okay, why is there this deep kind of divine feminine wound, shame? Which, number one is which wound and the prosecution trauma. So we know that the society, our society previously have murdered thousands of women and some men, burning them alive on stakes just for picking up herbs and making herb tea and preserving ancestral wisdom, healing wisdom. So a root cause for centuries, women were prosecuted for their intuitive gifts. Women who were healers, midwives, mystics, and 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 seers, they were labeled as witches. They were sages, they were healers, they were labeled as witches and punished, burned alive. So this created, as you can imagine, this created a deep soul memory of danger in being danger in being powerful, visible, or different. Being powerful, visible, different as a woman became embedded in our psyche, in our body, is something that's very dangerous. So we become shameful to be seen as these wonderful creatures that we are. So shame expression. So with that came fear of speaking our truth. We were hiding our spiritual gifts. We were people pleasing, so we would not be prosecuted. We were hiding, doing these little things hidden somewhere in the corner, terrified if we are found out, we're going to be punished for it. So we were suppressing our intuition. We were feeling guilt around visibility. And as you can imagine, our soul was totally broken. I'm going to dive deeper into this one. But this one is just an overview. So how can we heal this? We can start by reclaiming our gifts through rituals, expression, a sacred practice, and that's what we're going to be having on this new container that I'm creating on Zoom. Do subscribe on my website. It's opening very soon. It's going to be incredibly affordable. We're going to do rituals. We're going to be remembering ourselves through rituals, through ceremonies, through letting go, through divine feminine. All are welcome. I want to see men there as well. If you're a man, join in. Let's work together. We all need to dive in and work together with this one. There is no really separation between male and female in that sense. The other practices that we're going to be practicing, that we're practicing on this channel and on my Instagram and in this container that I'm creating, is to honor our ancestors who are actually who are holders of wisdom. So we can honor them in silence or out loud, however we like. We can express ourselves now. If you're home alone, just sing and shout to your ancestors on top of your voice. Connect. Or connect with me, connect with the community. And you can use affirmations like, it is safe for me to be seen. It is safe for me to come forward. You see, so this is the well, to come forward. My gifts are sacred and my gifts are needed. My gifts are needed for this. Humanity needs my gifts. So that can be your affirmation. It's safe for me to be seen now and to be heard, and my gifts are sacred and they're needed. Enjoy communities, obviously, that honor sacred feminine expression and that honor sacred masculine expression as well. So there is no separation. We do not need more separation. We need unity. So sacred feminine, sacred masculine, it's only energy anyway. What bodies we have, it does not matter. What matters is energy. What energy are we bringing into the community? Number 2, religious conditioning and original sin. So root cause. So many spiritual traditions historically have painted the feminine as this temptress, or morally weak, someone who is tempting the man into sin, or who is morally weak and needs to be somehow protected and not taken seriously. Like Eve was incredibly powerful woman. Eve, we had Lilith before Eve, and then we have Eve. So Lilith has opened the door for us to choose which version are we going to be playing with, and Eve is the one who penetrated the patriarchy and delivered the feminine. And then we have Mary Magdalene. I'm going to be talking about her a lot in this channel. Beautiful soul. So sexuality and embodiment became linked with shame and impurity. So let's say Eve was seen as a saint, for example, and Mary Magdalene was seen as a prostitute. We know, labeled as a prostitute for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, till finally Catholic Church put their hands up and said, that's not true. That's not true. And that was a really huge step. So sexuality and embodiment became linked with shame and impurity. So for us to express our sexuality was wrong, and we were hiding our sexuality. So shame expression. Let's see the pattern here. Discomfort in the body. Discomfort in the body. Discomfort in the body. We are not safe in our body. We don't feel safe in our body. We feel somehow discomfort. Repression of our sexuality, disconnection from the womb, from the cycle, guilt around pleasure, shame around pleasure, shame around a monthly cycle. That's natural, that's sacred, that's divine. I mean, we can pull the divine and give birth to new creation. It's that sacred, but we became shameful of it and ashamed of it. So healing remedies, embodiment practices, womb healing. We're going to be doing womb healing in my container. Male and female, we all have that space. Dance, tantra, sacred movement, yoga, sensual dancing. Reconnecting with the divine feminine like in spiritual archetypes. I'm going to be talking about that a lot. Goddess Inanna, Lilith, Isis, Mary Magdalene, you name it, we're going to be talking about them. There's such a beautiful Green Tara is coming. Thank you so much, Green Tara. Green Tara, Venus, Lilith, yeah, all of you, yeah, beautiful. And we need to also work on rewriting the narrative and say to yourself, my body is my sacred temple. My sensuality, my sexuality is sacred, and it's allowed. And when we look at nature, our Mother Gaia, well, look how sensual and sexual and self-expressive she is. She's completely naked. She's dancing. She's moving. She's changing. She's always fertile, always creating, always giving, always celebrating herself in all her nakedness. And we want the same for us. Okay, let's go to number 3. Generational shame and ancestral silence. So root cause, mothers, grandmothers, and generations of women thought to suppress their emotions, and men as well. Thank you. So spirits are reminding me not to exclude men. Thank you so much. Mother, grandmothers, fathers, generations of women, men, girls and boys are taught to suppress emotions, to endure abuse. Now I'm talking about women, to endure abuse, to put others first. So the silence, woman's silence, became the norm, and shame became inherited. You know, when I look at my mother passing on trauma onto me, she was a wounded, abused girl, woman, ashamed of herself. Oh God, excuse me. Ashamed of herself, ashamed of her beautiful essence. So she passed on the trauma because she didn't know how to deal with it. And that's why we need to talk about. That's why we need channel like this, and we need to talk about it, and we need to dismantle. That shame is not ours to carry. That shame is not ours to carry. We need to be gentle with it because it's so deeply rooted within us, and we need to slowly, 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 slowly unpack. On this channel you might see me being emotional, and why would not I be emotional? Why would not I be emotional as a woman, feeling this ancestral pain that we are all carrying? But also want to remind you that with ancestral pain we have also inherited incredible amount of wisdom, courage to push through it, to rise above it, and to rise as free beings. So shame expression with this one is that these carrying burdens are not our own. This difficult expressing needs, guilt around setting boundaries, good girl syndrome. We need to kind of see how we can work with this one, so we can shift it a little bit. You know, not everything at once because it might be overwhelming for our energetic body and our connection with ancestors, but to honor it, honor that pain as well, to honor that pain, to honor our ancestors and what they've been through, to honor our mothers, to honor our grandmothers, our sisters, our brothers, our fathers, and to heal together. So what is the healing remedy with this for this one? Ancestral healing meditation and journaling. So you can sit in your meditation, so you can sit in meditation with intention to connect with your ancestors and to heal, to ask them for guidance, what needs healing. And through journaling everything comes out. And to also kind of see and separate whose pain you're actually feeling right now and whose voice are you hearing or experiencing within your body. That's really, really important. The second one, I would suggest you to release inherited patterns with compassion. So everything with compassion, with love, with understanding. Practice boundary settings as an act of self-love and generational repair. So setting boundaries with people, perhaps with yourself, you have some boundaries you need to kind of revisit a little bit, and to honor your body, to honor your body and to see your body, yourself, your sexuality, sensuality as a sacred gift. Fourth one, performing for love and approval. So root cause, so the feminine was taught that her value lies in being pleasing. You know, we see that in today's world, being pleasing, being beautiful, being accommodating, being soft, being small, being um, convenient, being convenient. So external validation over inner truth. The authentic self was often not welcomed, and it's still not welcomed in our society. If we show up authentically in our full power as a feminine, as divine beings that we are, we're not going to be welcome in every circle. Because society needs to change. Society needs to change, and we are changing with the society. So what is shame expression with this one, or kind of DNA imprint that I like to call it, is overachieving. overachieving. We always need to overachieve. We always need to overgive to get the same validation, same credibility, don't we? Fear of rejection is a huge one, big one, male and female. Perfectionism, chameleon tendencies. So we are kind of we are changing with the tide. We are not standing in our ethnicity and let the tide moves around us and change around us. We are changing with tide because we want to fit in. We don't want to be rejected anymore. And this one is big one. Exhaustion from proving our worth. So we are constantly proving, but we don't need to do it. What we need to do, the only thing that we need to do as women is to know that we are worthy. Once we know that we are worthy deep down within us, we don't need to prove anything to anyone. Healing remedies, shadow work. Shadow work brings awareness to the inner child who learned to perform. So inner child has learned to perform, perform for love, perform for attention, perform for this, perform for that. So we need to do shadow work to say to inner child. I used to say, and still I am saying to my inner child, you don't need to do this anymore. You are safe now. You don't need to perform for love. You don't need to play small anymore. You are worthy of being seen, or being heard, and you are worthy of being authentic self. You don't need to do that anymore. Daily practice of radical self-acceptance. Speak your truth even when it's uncomfortable. Speak your truth even when it is uncomfortable. Affirmation for this one: I'm loved for who I am, not for who I perform to be. I am loved for who I am, not for who I perform to be. Let's go to the fifth one. Disconnection from the sacred feminine within. Root cause. In the masculine dominated world, as you know, feminine qualities like intuition, receptivity, flow, and nurturing are devalued. We can see it in, let's say, hospital nurses. Majority of them are women, caring, loving, are paid 5 times less than doctors, and majority of doctors are male. So our nurturing qualities, receptivity, flow, love, the feminine wisdom has been devalued. So this leads to this kind of deep feeling of shame. I'm not good enough again. I'm not good enough. Being too much, perhaps sometimes we all had that. Oh, you're too much. Like when you're speaking your truth, keep quiet. Too emotional or too sensitive. So this channel, all that is allowed. And on my container that I'm going to be holding for all of us. Shame expression, cutting off from softness, over intellectualizing, distrust in feelings, fear of slowing down or resting. So when we start slowing down, especially if you are employed in some kind of banking sector, business sector, financial sector, police, where I was, if you slow down, or you kind of resist, you're kind of seen like, oh gosh, she's weird. So let's heal that one. So healing remedies: reclaim your softness. Reclaim your softness as your strength. Reclaim your softness as your strength, not as a weakness. You can do this through mindfulness, and you should really realize that your softness is who you are. Your soul is soft. When I connect with my soul is so soft, so gentle, so loving, but at the same time so self-assured. She knows what she wants. So softness is strength, this kind of power, and like I need to be, I need to be this kind of man eater, and really tough and on the go, and all that. That's an imprint from toxic patriarchy. Softness is strength. Rituals, absolutely, and practice inner listening. In quiet, in solitude, in stillness, and in calm, you practice. You go deep and you listen to your soft soul. And you can say to yourself, my wisdom matters. My feelings are wise. My body speaks to me, and I'm ready to listen. My softness, my kindness, my compassion is divine. That's love. That's love. The softness is love. So that's what I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this one. This was powerful. And subscribe on my website. And I'm going to inform you when the container is open for us to get together and join in and do magic. Magic. Man, woman, you're all welcome as long as you're open to healing, to expanding your heart, to love divine feminine and masculine, and to rebalance and bring peace and love to our hearts and to this world. Thank you so much, and yeah, I'm looking forward to speak to you soon.